My fellow Americans, my fellow patriots, I was on a live and I was asked, what would you do different if you were elected to the United States Senate? Well, number one, I'm an independent. I have been all my life, so I would not have to follow any party rules or party votes or anything like that. But to me, I think that there are quite a few things that need to be changed in this country. In my opinion, we would need to get rid of all lobbyists and special interest groups because they're a hindrance to the people that are serving us up in DC and in our state capitals. Number two, I would say term limits is extremely important for both the House and the Senate. Just like we have term limits for the president, we should have term limits for Congress and the Senate. Number three, I would say stop sending money to other countries. Period. All out. Regardless of the country, regardless of what they are to us. If people want to form their own charities and collect money and send it to other countries, that's perfectly fine. But it's not the job of the federal government to take our tax dollars and give them to some other country. That money is supposed to be used here in America for Americans. Number three, one of the things that I would do, I would change our tax system. I would get rid of the IRS and I would move us to either the flat or the fair tax. With that in mind, what should and could probably happen would be if we stopped sending money to other countries and we went to a flat or a fair tax, we could go back to a single person making enough money to sustain a household instead of us having to have two people in a household working all the time. So one person could be working, one person could be staying home raising the kids. Now, I don't think that's too much to offer. Another problem that I do see is that we have a major problem with our three-letter agencies, and those need to be, I hate to say completely gutted, but in all honesty, that might be the best way to put it. We've got a major problem with the three-letter agencies all across the board, from the big ones all the way down to the smaller ones. We as Americans are supposed to control where this country goes, not the government. And it's time that we Americans, regular Americans, blue-collar Americans like myself, take charge, run for office, and take this country back, put it back on the right track. This country's basic foundation is a generalization, the Constitution. It's not specific because it gives us an outline. Just like the Second Amendment doesn't say only flintlock. It says everybody that's an American has the right to keep and bear arms. These gun laws that we have are, in my opinion, unconstitutional. There's no need for gun laws. The majority of Americans are law-abiding citizens, and they know how to properly handle and use a gun. When you hear these politicians talking about how they want gun confiscation and new gun laws, you know what? The criminals don't care whatever you want to put on these gun laws. They buy their guns illegally or they steal them and they use them in crimes. So they do not follow the law. Now, there's so much more on my website, edwardagray.com. You can look it all over. I have some really good ideas, but I think the potential of America is limited by this inward fighting that we see of the two-party system trying to keep the division in America. And I think that we, as the people of America, can do so much better. I thank you for your time. Please repost this so others can see it. I'm running for United States Senate to replace Rick Scott and represent all of Florida. God bless America.